Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Elevate Your Wealth Today podcast. I'm Jenna Biancavilla, and with me is the brilliant and fabulous Shyla Bassi, my co host.
Hello, hello, everyone. How are you, Jenna?
It's a beautiful day. I love when weather is nice in Phoenix, Arizona, but I'm also fearing the heat that is coming. So, you and I both have blazers on. I don't know how much longer we can still be wearing blazers in Arizona.
Truly, the countdown begins, but we know to stay cool inside is the best thing that we can control.
I actually do tell all of my friends, clients, peers who are in cold weather states, you stay inside during winter. Well, we just stay inside during summer. I don't know. My four season people really disagree.
I can see that.
All right. Well, we've got a really awesome topic today. We are talking about women advisors. We are the minority. There's not a lot of us. However, there's a lot of data out there that say we are better at being financial advisors. So excited to kind of talk through some of those ideas and concepts. Maybe either prove it to be true or maybe bust a myth or whatever the end result is. But I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah, I think it's an important topic because especially with helping so many women, I think the common feedback is it's nice to connect with someone who looks like me and that has experienced some of the things I have in life. And so I think a great representation to talk through this on what studies show, but also what we see every single day.
Well, there's some really interesting studies. You said studies, so I'm going to kick it off with this Fidelity article that I found where the headline says 91% of women think that men are better investors. And then the article goes on to say, here's why they couldn't be more wrong. And it quotes this UC Berkeley study where they found that men are actually trading at a higher frequency. So they think that they're really smart. They're trading 45% more than women, but all that trading actually has reduced their returns by 2.65% on average. So, from this UC Berkeley study, it says that women have better rates of return than men. And I think because part of that is because women stick with the plan. They take a lot of time doing the due diligence ahead of time to really feel confident in the plan they're putting in place. And then they stick to it and they have that buy and hold. Whereas men, just the gender tendency, they usually are quick starts. They want to jump, they want to start, they want to buy something and see if it works. And then they second guess themselves a little bit later. And isn't that just how we were built? If you go back to hunter gatherer days, men had to like hurry and shoot the bow and like try to kill the deer or whatever they were hunting. And women had to go around and be more methodical and gather. And that's just how we were built. I hate to have gender biases, right? Because we hate that in finance. But I do think there's a little bit about leaning into your innate skills.
No, I 100% agree. And I think for women, like you said, we're naturally nurturers. And so, whether that's someone looking at a plan and, okay, I have a strategy, I need to nurture this plan all the way to the end, they want to see that final picture once it's been clear on what their vision is. And as an advisor, right, really laying down the plan and nurturing our clients to align what's important to them with what's actually happening in their financial portfolio because celebrating those wins along the way, it's more than just saying, "Yes, my portfolio grew." It's, "Wow, I achieved my financial goals, and I had someone that believed in my vision to help me get there."
Yeah, having an advisor that believes in you, I don't know if the men or women believe in their clients any more or less, but I think women just have that like fuzzy, soft empathy, feel good vibe to them. So I wouldn't say my male advisor friends don't believe in their clients, but maybe they just don't put off that feeling as much. And it doesn't that feel good when you know that your advisor feels like they have faith in you, they have faith in the plan. You get all those warm fuzzies.
Oh, for sure. I think that compassion, it goes a really long way, and we've experienced it with clients sharing that with us as well.
Well, I think another interesting, unique feature from a women's standpoint is we're not only just naturally the nurturers, as you said, but also we have this natural desire to be educators.
Mhm.
Hence why women have historically dominated the teaching field because we love nurturing and teaching and educating. And so I think that we hear that constantly, that clients feel that they were in a financial situation with an advisor who just talked over them, was condescending, used all this financial jargon. They had no idea what was going on. And then we get this separate feedback working with a female advisor. They feel like the female takes the time to explain the plan, explain the financial concepts so that they truly feel empowered to know the plan's going to work because they understand it. So I think the educator component might go a pretty long way as well.
Oh, I 100% agree because right, we want our clients to understand what's happening. And when they have clarity on what the goal is, what steps they need to take, but also, like you said, feel empowered to take those actions. Oh my gosh, it's a plan that's collaborative, but it also allows them to take control of what's most important.
I love that word collaborative that you just used because that's another great feature of women. We're more likely to ask for help, to work with a team well, to bring in other experts. Men have bigger egos. And you know what? It works really well in a lot of things in business. A lot of times I have to try to remind myself to have ego like my male counterpart. I was talking on a panel recently and they were talking about how men are more likely to market their face alone on a billboard, whereas women are less likely to put their face alone as the only representation on a billboard. Usually they'll bring their team members on that billboard with them. So just that women are more likely to want to lean on a team, to not be in the show light, the spotlight, but to bring other people in. And I think that's really collaborative in putting together a plan. So you don't just have that ego, one mind thinking about your plan, but you have that collaborative team approach where women are more likely to ask for second opinions and are not afraid to say when they don't know it all.
Ooh, I think that that's the key there is the openness to ask for help. And I think that there's a level of vulnerability that women do have to just say, I don't know. Can you help me understand this a little bit better? I don't want to just walk and assume, right? Or take those steps without having the proper guidance. And I think that vulnerability of working with women and them having the representation of working with another woman, I think there's some comfort there to just ask and say, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and I agree with you on all the things you're saying about being able to see someone who looks like you or work with another woman. But I actually am going above and beyond this and saying we're better for whatever gender wants to work with us.
That's
So
so true.
male or female, if you're a man and you're looking at hiring advisors, you have these choices of, well, women statistically get better rates of return. Statistically, they're going to take the time to teach me. Statistically, they're not going to assume that they know everything and possibly make a mistake because their ego, but actually bring in backup and help. Um, and then we were talking a little bit about just kind of empathy and connecting to your clients, so they actually care. So when life happens, which life always happens, there's divorce, there's death, there's medical issues. Life is messy. You know that someone has that empathy and cares about you. So, regardless of what gender you identify as, I'm going to say I think we're taking the lead on this one as women.
I would I agree, Jenna. I think it's a huge piece of how we support and help people along the way and having that open arms, but just the willingness to listen. It really plays a big role in what we get to do every day.
All right. Any other points that we can give for the women, or maybe can we give some points to the men? Do we have anything that they're going to win on today?
Well, I think as we talked about today, how important it is to identify an advisor who's willing to listen to you, whether that is a male or female advisor. Not only that, ensuring that when you're creating a plan, that that plan is in alignment with your vision for where you see your financial picture. And so I think whether that's a woman or a man, Jen, I think those are just simple things that anyone looking for that next step in financial planning should consider.
Oh, I really like that. So find someone you connect with that you can be vulnerable with, because if you don't feel comfortable with this person sharing some of the difficult things that you're going through, then they can't help you. So really connection is the end answer. Is that what we're going with, Shyla?
That's what we're going with.
All right. Well, I love it. I'm going to say the women won this one, even though we kind of said connection is the best answer. I still want to be a winner tonight. All right. Any other ideas on why women are better, or is that the conclusion?
I think that's the conclusion, Jenna.
All right. I'm concluding it with we win, go women. Team women get 1 point, men get zero. I don't know if we're going to do this again. So we're just going to stay reigning champions.
Here we are.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining the Elevate Your Wealth Today podcast. This was great. Thank you, Shyla, for being my fabulous co host, and we'll see you later.
See you later.